in the day, when we wake up in the morning and go to bed at night, when we're in alpha, our analytical facilities are suppressed. We're in theta, we're in a hypnotic state. And the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is wide open. And what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is the analytical mind. So as you suppress analytical facilities, you can program anybody to do anything. So then what really happens for most people before they even reach for their cell phone, and by the way, the statistics are 86% of the people in the Western world, first thing they do is they reach for the cell phone and they connect to everything that's known.
Dr. Joe Dispenza discusses the subconscious mind as a powerful force that influences our thoughts, behaviors, and experiences without us even realizing it. He explains that our subconscious mind operates like a hidden program, running in the background of our lives, shaping how we perceive and interact with the world around us. He highlights that the subconscious mind becomes particularly accessible during two key times of the day, when we wake up in the morning and before we go to bed at night. During these moments, our brain waves transition through different states, allowing us to tap into the subconscious more easily. He explains that by being mindful and conscious during these times, we have the opportunity to reprogram our subconscious mind with new behaviors and responses. This means that instead of automatically reacting to situations based on past conditioning, we can consciously choose how we want to think and behave.
So something's programming us to think and feel a certain way. There's nothing wrong with that. You should check your text, and do whatever you need to do. But the first thing in the morning, if the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is open, why don't we program a new behavior? Why don't we rehearse a different way of being with our children, with our spouse, in our Zoom meetings, when we're alone, when we're in traffic? Is there a better way to evolve our experience? So if you're truly in the game of evolution, you're truly in the game, like one lifetime, one day. What am I working on today? Can I respond a different way to this person? Can I think this way instead of that way? Let me be conscious of my unconscious thoughts. Let me not be in a habit. Let me stay away from certain emotions. Let me practice feeling these emotions, see if I can maintain it. Now you're in the game. You're out of the bleachers and you're on the playing field. So it actually happens even before the cell phone. Because what most people do is they wake up and the first thing they do is the brain is a record of the past. They think of their problems. And those problems are just memories that are etched in the brain that are connected to certain people and objects at certain times and places. The moment they think of their problems, they're thinking in the past. Then when they think about their problems and they feel unhappy, now their body's in the past. And if you believe that your thoughts have something to do with your destiny, wow. And then the emotion that's associated is now the body's in the past, because thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body. And how we think and how we feel creates our state of being. Now here's the problem. If you can't think greater than how you feel, and you believe that your thoughts have something to do with your destiny, and you understand that feelings and emotions are a record of the past, then you're thinking in the past, and your life will stay the same. 95% of who we are is a set of memorized behaviors, automatic emotional responses, unconscious habits, hardwired attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions that are running pretty much like a computer program. They're automatic, right? So you can think positively all you want. You can say, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm free, I'm worthy, I'm worthy. And your body's saying, no, you're not, you're miserable, right? So it makes sense that there's got to be an unlearning process. And we got to stay conscious of our unconscious thoughts that slip by our awareness unnoticed. We got to watch how we speak. We got to observe how we act. We got to pay attention to the way we're feeling, and we have to become so conscious of those unconscious states of mind and body that we don't go unconscious in our waking day. Because how you think, how you act, and how you feel is your personality, and your personality creates your personal reality. So if you're thinking the same way, you're acting the same way, and you're feeling the same way, nothing's going to change in your life, right? So then the unlearning process is as valuable as the relearning process. The breaking the habit of the old self has to happen before you reinvent a new self. Prune synaptic connections before you sprout new connections. You got to unfire and unwire before you refire and rewire. You got to deprogram. You got to go out. You got to go out into life and try it out. Okay, I've changed my internal state. You could have a great meditation. You can connect. Your heart could open. This happened to me. You could open your heart. You'd be amazing. You feel like the day is invincible. And you get up And then the rest of your day, you're unconscious, the 15 hours of your day. So you're going to weigh 1 hour of being in a different state of being against 15 hours of you being unhappy and rushing and in a program.
Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about the importance of our morning routine in shaping our behavior and experiences throughout the day. He explains that when we wake up in the morning, our subconscious mind is particularly open to programming, much like a blank slate ready to be written on. He emphasizes that instead of immediately diving into external distractions, like checking our phones, we have an opportunity to consciously program new behaviors and responses. By taking a few moments upon waking to set positive intentions or visualize our goals, we can influence how we think and act for the rest of the day. Dispenza suggests that by starting our day with mindfulness and intentionality, we can create a ripple effect that positively impacts our interactions, decisions, and overall well-being. This means that we have the power to steer our day in a direction that aligns with our goals and values, simply by setting the tone during our morning routine. Dr. Joe Dispenza also discusses the process of unlearning and rewiring our brains to create positive change in our lives. He explains that many of our behaviors and thought patterns are deeply ingrained in our subconscious minds, often formed through years of repetition and reinforcement. He emphasizes that to break free from these old habits and create new ones, we need to unlearn these automatic responses and rewire our brains with new, more beneficial patterns. This involves consciously challenging our existing beliefs and behaviors and replacing them with ones that align with our goals and aspirations. He suggests that through consistent practice and conscious effort, we can create new neural pathways in our brains, effectively rewiring them to support the changes we want to make. This process requires patience, perseverance, and a willingness to step outside of our comfort zones.
I feel better, but I'm failing. This doesn't work. They say, what is it about me that's stopping this from completely healing? Okay, how am I in my waking day? The moment you begin to ask that question, you turn on the frontal lobe, and the frontal lobe is the seat of your conscience. Now, the moment you start looking at the end of your day, how did I do? This is such an important question. How did I do today? Did I fall from grace? When did I lose it? And who did I lose it with? If I had another opportunity, how would I do it differently? They'll tell you, I've seen them stand on the stage and tell their story and say, I had to start really watching myself in my life. How I was emotionally responding to my ex, how I was emotionally responding to my financial problems. I had to really, really pay attention to that. And that takes an enormous amount of energy and an enormous amount of awareness to stop the program, right? So you forget and you go, damn, I went unconscious there. Now, you didn't lose, you didn't fail. You just became conscious. Now, if you keep becoming so conscious of your unconscious states, you're outside the program. You're only in the program when you're unconscious. The moment you're conscious, you can objectify your subjective self. So you can see yourself through the eyes of someone else. So the learning process comes from the mistake. The brain learns by mistakes and surprises. I've made enough of them in my life. It's just whether you're going to do it again. You want to do it again, you're back in the habit, back in the routine. If you say, this is it, the next time that happens, I am not going to do that. Not for anybody else, but because those emotions actually, my response to that person or that circumstance is actually weakening the organism. Is that person, that circumstance worth it? So then it's evolution. It's evolution. The challenge then has to be met with a greater level of mind. Now, if you're just doing your meditation just because you want to please God or do the right thing or feel good about yourself, that's going to get stale after a while because it's just going to become another routine between your coffee and your shower and your emails and your drive to work, and people aren't present, right? So the familiar past, conditioning is based on the past, that thought and the feeling, but habituation is the programming them to predictable future. That's the known. So if you teach a person how to find the present moment, that's where the unknown exists. And that takes a lot of energy and a lot of awareness. And yet, if you practice it, the body literally will begin to respond to the mind. It's like training an animal. It finally relaxes. And when that occurs, your response to people and circumstances in your life will be different because you overcame yourself at the beginning of the day. So I'm an early morning guy just like you. I get up really early. Why? Because nobody bothers me. Okay, what am I doing today? But I'm not going to sit down and just jump into a meditation. What thoughts, before I go into this meditation, am I going to stay away from? Well, what circumstances, what things I can think about later that aren't that important to me? What emotions, what memories am I going to stay away from? If I go there, I know what that's going to do. Why am I doing this meditation?
Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about the importance of preparation and execution in achieving our goals and living a fulfilling life. He emphasizes that having a clear plan and mindset before engaging in any activity can significantly impact our success and overall well-being. He suggests that before starting our day or embarking on any task, it's essential to take the time to prepare mentally. This involves setting clear intentions, visualizing desired outcomes, and identifying potential challenges or obstacles. He explains that by doing this preparation work, we can cultivate a focused and positive mindset, making it easier to stay on track and overcome any hurdles that may arise. Additionally, he encourages us to be mindful of our thoughts and emotions during this preparation phase, as they can greatly influence our actions and behaviors. Once we've adequately prepared, Dispenza emphasizes the importance of execution, putting our plans into action with determination and focus. He suggests that by staying present in the moment and fully committing to our tasks, we can maximize our productivity and effectiveness. Dr. Joe Dispenza's insights highlight the profound impact of conscious awareness and intentional action on our lives. By understanding the power of our subconscious mind and the importance of morning routines, unlearning old habits, and preparing for execution, we can take control of our destiny and create positive change. Through mindfulness and self-awareness, we can reprogram our thoughts, behaviors, and responses, ultimately shaping our experiences and outcomes. By embracing this process of unlearning and rewiring, we can unlock our full potential and live a more fulfilling and purposeful life. In essence, by being mindful of our thoughts and actions, setting clear intentions, and taking deliberate steps toward our goals, we can pave the way for personal growth, success, and happiness. It's a journey of self-discovery and transformation that begins with a single step, one that each of us has the power to take.